I should have a script. I should have a script. The real reason for adding this piece is to go in the cautionary remarks for people who are thinking about moving to the Philippines. What are the things at risk? And going back to a theme a few videos ago, words of caution. Another thing that's a puzzle is I wondered why our neighbours, apart from, have been quite as reserved with us. And it's been that reservation has been one of the contributory reasons to us wanting to sell the plot. People keep asking us about it, and we've experienced a fair bit of trouble to do with the boundaries. And it was only yesterday, when Rena came over, that we discovered quite what had happened. When you buy or sell a plot here, you have to have a survey, and a survey accompanies the paperwork that records the sale. A geodetic survey. Now, a geodetic survey specifies where the boundaries are of the plot, and you will find little cement, they call them monuments. They're about this big, sitting in the ground, and that's where there's a corner of the boundary. The engineer who did the survey when we bought the plot clearly got it wrong. And they have recorded the plot as being, where are we? About 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters west of where the plot should be. That's caused some problems, because when that's happened, it appears as though people have built on our land, or the land we bought. The engineer, when he did it, didn't quietly do his survey and then submit the results. He told all of our neighbours that there was going to be trouble because they built on our land. Well, maybe expressing it that way is a bit strong. It appears that he said there's going to be some difficulties because, and you're going to have to adjust. And in the interests of my client, I'm warning you already that there will have to be changes. Things will have to be done. Things will have to be moved. Now, of course, that was quite upsetting, and it was worse than that, because at that stage he hadn't submitted the report to us, and we had not had a sense of discussing what was found with the people around. And his report was just very different to historically what people thought was going on. We've had to have a new survey done. Rena, bless her, has arranged to do it with a surveyor that she really trusts. And later today, he will come over and talk to the neighbours about the new survey. I'm hoping after that things will settle down. There'll be less tension. The other thing which is apparent is that local people don't like approaching a Westerner. I suppose it's because, like, I have difficulty reading the Filipino faces and maybe what's going on. You're culturally attuned to the small expressions and changes in people's faces, and of course they're different here. Whether it's because they can't read me or whether they think I'm just horrible, Of course I am. I don't know. So when we first came in and there was this fuss about the boundaries going on, a whole group came to talk to James in a situation which I kind of found, as a stranger, a bit threatening, because they were all gathering around James and and James at that stage hadn't or wasn't aware of the full story of what had happened, and he couldn't just turn around and say, "Oh, don't worry, the survey's a mistake," because at that stage we didn't know, and he still needed to protect our interests. So that was rather ambivalent in the way that it played out, with just a wait and see. And then Rena arranged for a new survey by a surveyor who knows the community, or they know him, because he's actually surveyed land here before. And that's the survey, the report that we're having today. So I really hope to clear up. I should have a script. The real reason for adding this piece is to go in the cautionary remarks for people who are thinking about moving to the Philippines. What are the things at risk? And going back to a theme a few videos ago, words of caution. Well, words of caution are definitely get a licensed land agent, an attorney, in fact, to do. It started to rain, and I'm going to have to move to do things for you. So I've got to get the camera out of the rain. Here we go. Lighting not quite so good. There we go. There. Yeah, so definitely do get a lawyer, somebody who's trustworthy. And that in itself can be difficult, because I came across a video at a website of some people who had bought in Iloilo, can't say it, Iloilo, Iloilo, and they were scammed by policemen, amongst others. So it might not be as easy to find somebody who's trustworthy as a lawyer. We're lucky, I think, with Rena. And then do listen to their advice. The second thing is, compared with the UK, be prepared for a very flexible process. It's and one that's actually a bit difficult to understand at first. Lots and lots of copies of paperwork, very, very simple transactions. There is a duty of care, due diligence process that Rena's undertaken. But that's nothing like what your solicitor would be doing for you in the UK. And one of the things which makes a difference compared with the experience in the UK is there are no planning regulations here as such. And as a consequence, there's no search that you could do to tell you whether or not people may be building nearby. So again, there's a video where you've seen the little house that's been built on the slope next to us on one side. The other thing that's going to happen today is some people are coming to view the lot behind our plot, which we're selling, and we discovered that because yesterday a couple came up to the house and said, could they buy a right of way across the plot, because they want to sell their lot behind, and the buyer for that, or prospective buyer for that, was asking about the right of way and access. Well, if we don't allow them or sell them land to have access, they haven't got access to their lot. Seems a bit selfish to say no, we won't, but we won't, because if we take a strip out of that land, that'll be 3 meters taken out, and it then leaves a very narrow, long, thin lot that we would be trying to sell. That might not be difficult to sell, but then when somebody builds on it, they'll be building very, very close to our boundary, just to get the width to get a property on there. So we've had to say no to that. The response was interesting. Oh, well, we'll get our prospective buyer to buy your lot. Okay. The only thing is, our lot is well, we priced it at getting on for 3.5 million, and the lot behind is being sold for 1 million. The price of theirs is around 2,000 PHP a square metre, and the selling price we've been advised is 5,000 a square metre. So we'll see what happens. I can't imagine somebody who's coming along to look at a plot on a slope that they're expecting to pay 1 million for. And going, oh yeah, I like your plot, which is even bigger than the plot I wanted to buy, for 3.5. Anyway, enough rambling. Life here is still fun. I still love it here. There's nothing more I can say, really, is there? Take care. Please, especially if you're in the UK, take care. And we'll chat to you again at some point. Okay. Bye.